What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. For today's episode, we are going to wrap up Lothering. We got some Chanters board quests to do, and then we're going to make our way on to the big old road that the Devinters built. Before we go slaughter these bandits in the woods, however, I realized that I haven't touched on Morrigan's tactics since we found her in the wilds, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. We're going to make her be ranged, of course. We wanted to keep her distance. So right off the bat, you see that her setup kind of tells you what she is. She is not a healer by any stretch of the imagination. She is clearly a damage mage. She has Drain Life, Mind Blast, Horror, and Winter's Grasp. We can kind of keep this setup as it is, to be honest. So I think what we're going to do is, first of all, enemy, rank, elite or higher, Winter's Grasp. We don't need her to be wasting this on some, like, little Pikmin in the backline. Self being attacked by a melee attack, she will use Horror. Now what does Horror do? Before we decide, the caster forces a target to cower in fear, unable to move unless it passes a mental resistance check. Targets already asleep when the spell is cast cannot resist its effect and take massive spirit damage. We will keep that on too, I think, for now. Mind Blast is a very good ability. It is another AoE stun, except we are not going to have it surrounded by 2 enemies. We are going to have it at least 3. If you do that as 2, every battle should just be spamming it. We don't need that. We already have we have Duke doing those AoE stuns when he's in the party. So now self-health is Drain Life. That's good. When her health starts to get low, she'll just go ahead and suck up somebody else's. I like that. Liliana, we need to go through too, so we're going to do ranged. Self, any Song of Valor is good. This is bad. Stay away from Rapid Shot. To my knowledge, still to this day, this ability, Rapid Shot, does not work. It is bugged and it wrecks your chance to hit. It is not worth it. I recommend using Rapid Shot by getting it on specific bows and items. Never use this ability. Again, maybe I'm wrong, and if I am, somebody can correct me, but to my knowledge, it has never been fixed. It has always been a problem. So we're going to go instead with enemy, rank, elite or higher. Use ability, hidden shot. Enemy, rank, elite or higher, crippling shot. And what else does she have here? So she has crippling. We will use shattering shot too. So rank, elite or higher, use ability, shattering shot. Now she is actually pretty good. She's a pretty good party member. This is a party buff. It's not the best one, but it's one of the good ones for now. And then she's gonna do pretty good at debuffing elites here if we decide to use her. I was actually considering using Duke for this little episode, so let's go ahead and pull him back in right now. Actually, take Liliana out. I did say I was going to try and use the doggo more often, and it seems like he has a level up too, so let's see. Dump that into strength. All those are even numbers, but I did say eventually we would want a little more willpower, so we'll go ahead and drop that, and then the next level we'll do 2 and 1 again. That'll be 28 and 12. Alrighty, let's go off into the woods. We got bandits to clear out, and a couple unfortunates that I wish weren't about to get in our face, but unfortunately they are. Can't be helped. If they want to fight, I'm more than happy to oblige. Regardless of how I feel about it, if they're not going to let us pass, they're not going to let us pass. See the rabble right there. Real fast before we do that. You know how I feel about XP and the potential of missing it.
We done heard what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Kalen, and make her forgive me, I don't care. But that bounty on your head could feed a lot of hungry bellies. Attack! Enemies approach.
Now I understand why he's doing this. Like you said, he doesn't know and he doesn't care. There's a bounty on our heads. He needs the money to feed his family. I get it, to a degree. Nah, I think personally, I think they're all throwing their lives away, but... there you have it. Now, the reason I selected our dog here is because I want these guys to close. Now that they closed, we're going to use Dreadhowl, and we're going to move Morrigan off to the side while they're all stunned. Isn't that beautiful? That is why I brought dog here. You take a Mabari Crunch. Here's what we're gonna do. Then we're gonna pull her back out. Winter's Grasp is very, very strong, and since there are no mages here, we can kind of do what we want with that. I'm actually gonna go save Morgan's life here for a second. It's a shame that we didn't watch Dog's health enough. But in general, the commoner rabble here is not going to be much trouble for us. I'll say I'm almost impressed how good Dread Howl actually is.
As you wish.
Massive stun you get out of it. Stop that, get off my mage. And the last one's not going to have much to say about anything. And there it is. Again, it's a shame it came to that. I wish it didn't, but I understand why they made that play, right? If your family is starving, you're going to do whatever it takes to feed your family. I understand. Just wish it hadn't come to that. Something else we can blame Logain for is every man here's death. He put the bounty on our heads, which led desperate people to try and take it. That is on him too. Search the rubble back here. Okay, so now that we took care of those, I am going to save it again, because this fight up here can also be a little tricky. So, drop a save. The reason why this can be a little tricky, we're going to try and get cheeky again. We're going to try and pull some aggro. The Mabaris are a problem. If I can pull the Mabari while pulling nobody else, I would be very happy. Okay, that's not exactly what happened. We did pull a couple others, but this is certainly better than it would have been with the whole gang coming at the same time. The enemy is loving attacking our dog right now. Everything. The focus on him is insane. Right, so here's what we're doing. He got stunned, unfortunately. Okay, yeah. As soon as he is off stun, we're gonna Dread Howl. Bari is the priority target. Go ahead and get momentum back up. We can let Alistair do whatever he wants in general here. Oh, Morgan, you go ahead and move up. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna hit him with Winter's Grasp and get that kill. Mabari is the second priority target. We need to take a sip real fast. Alistair, I would like you to overpower him. Do a weapon sweep for the damage, and now we're in a much better position. And this fight is over, essentially. Like we read on the Chanters board, there are 3 sets of bandits. This was the first set. We have plenty more to slaughter before we're done with this part of the Chanters board, but it's a nice little taste of combat here in Lotharen. Slow start. And to get used to how our party build is going to work. The next set of bandits are across here. Set up on Bodhahn's farm, I believe it is, since there's traps all over the place. Drop another quick little save just in case. Everybody's health is all the way back up, so we are ready to go. So again, we're going to get a little cheeky. And see what we can pull without aggroing the whole horde.
Stop your ruling and save some dignity, fool.
Here we go!
Right. Now everybody can go. As always, we are not going to tell Duke to stun anything yet.
Run while you can.
Alistair, go ahead and shield bash him. Get him off me. Good boy. He's holding up well. I believe, since he shield bashed him, all his attention should be on Alistair. Gonna pop momentum. And now we kind of just go ahead with the slaughter. Oh, he pin and shot at us. Okay, Dread Howl. Get that stun up. We don't want to take any unnecessary damage. Let Alistair hold the aggro. He's doing actually pretty good now with the aggro holding. Let's go on. Stun that. Swing around for the angle. Might have to take a sip here. And in general, this is going to be the end of that fight. We're going to use a shield bash just to secure that. Don't want to have to take any more potions. And now it's over. Alright. That is 2 out of 3 bandits done. We actually got some loot this time, so... What did the bandit on the road say? They were charging tolls. Well, we get to ransack your corpse then. Let's ransack some corpses. All for the greater good, of course. Every penny goes towards the Darkspawn fight. Maybe a trip to the Pearl in Denerim. For Alistair, of course. Innocent as he is. Gets 20 XP. Just had a lot of XP for us. Alright, there's one more set of bandits left in Lotharin. And they are up here in this little outcropping. We also have a tree up here where Amabari can assert some dominance. One of the main reasons I brought him over here actually is... he on the tree. That got us a codex called Mabari Dominance. We will be back up here pretty shortly to do the rest of the Chanters board quests, but you gotta do the bandits first, and then we'll get the other ones. And this fight, again, can be a little tricky. There's some strong individuals down there, so we're gonna drop another save. Kill them all to hold. Pull out the cheese. And see what we can pull without pulling the rest. Oh, we are in the money. We only aggroed 2 of them. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Look at this mess. I love it.
This just made this fight vastly easier when we fight the rest. We got the Mabari out of the way, which is very important.
As you wish.
Right. Now I'm not so worried about the rest of this. In fact, I'm so not worried about this. We're gonna send Duke in. And he is gonna stun the shit out of everybody. Very good. Alistair, I don't like that you're attacking the archer instead of this guy. Go ahead and knock him on his ass for me. Exactly like that. Get the weapon sweep in. Morgan, if you would be so kind. Hit the leader with a lightning strike. He's wearing heavy armor, so that's gonna fuck his world up, actually. Yep. And the leader is dead. Now, Alistair, if you would be so kind again. Duke, go disrupt the archer. Morgan, you disrupt the archer too. He and Alistair should be able to handle the melee combat here. Hit him with the sweep. And that is Lotharing's bandit problem taken care of. Beautiful. Very clean.
Let's get started.
Are a nightmare, so the cleaner these fights go, the happier I'll become. Gotta show at least at some point in the game that I know what I'm doing, right? But he was glowing there for a second. So now that we have taken care of this, all we have left to do is to go back to the Chanters board and claim our reward. And we'll be back up here to clear out the rest of Lotharin. Depending on how long the episode has ran, by the time that I'm done with the Chanters board, we might go ahead and move on to the camp. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how long it feels the episode has gone. I actually don't have a timer up this time. And then, yeah, we're going to meet some NPCs at the end of this video regardless. Some fun little NPCs. We're going to be the best of friends for the rest of the game, so... I will note the Chanters board is worth doing, not even just for the XP that you get from it. You do get a really good sword at the end of it, so definitely worth it.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
Indeed, and that is going to unlock the rest of our quests. So we have when bears attack. On behalf of Thed the farmer and his departed son, I inscribe this missive. As the Maker is my witness, I charge all those with knowledge of arms and armor to brave the dangers of the northern woods to find the family of bears that mauled and killed the boy Eneth. For they are an abomination in the Maker's sight, and their hides would prove great comfort to the northern farms and solace for Thed's family. As chanter for Lothering, I do pledge a sum of 1 sovereign to whoever carries out this, the Maker's will. Exercise caution first and foremost. May his light bathe us all. A last keepsake. Thanks to all villagers who've opened their barns and crofts to the refugees in these dark times. The chantry regularly hears praise from our visitors of your virtuous deeds are mentioned in many prayers. Sadly, there is a lone boy in the village whose mother, Goodwife Sarah, is missing. As she has been missing for the better part of a week as of this writing, she is presumed dead. May the Maker bless her passing. She was a lady of middle years with red hair and fond of a green cloak. This is the little boy we saw on the bridge here. We gave him some money to get some food. If any traveler or resident comes across her in the wilds, please return her body or the effects of her remains. Or the effects on her remains. In later years, the boy will be thankful to have such keepsakes to remember his brave mother by. The office of the chanter will compensate this kindness with the sum of 50 silvers. May the Maker turn his gaze on us all. So of course we will do that. We can't bring the boy's mother back, but we can go kill some dangers to the village and get him a keepsake. And actually, I know since we're doing the money-making method, 1 sovereign doesn't seem like a huge reward, but if you weren't to do that glitch, and you didn't have the DLC items like Blood Dragon Armor and all that stuff, a 1 sovereign reward for killing some bears is actually insane. That's like huge. And even if we do have 400 sovereigns, we want 401. There could never be enough money. We got health potions and all kinds of things to buy. Okay, so we will not be taking anything for granted. As you can see, there's a shitload of wolves here. You can do your thing. Attaboy. Just gonna knock them all on their ass one by one. Since there are so many, we're gonna do something cheeky here with Morrigan. Bring her in. We're gonna pop a Mind Blast for the quick stun. And then take her out. If I hadn't moved by accident and cancelled that, we would have saved Duke's life too. Not too big of a deal though, we have plenty of entry kits. Sorry boy, I tried. Accidentally hit my W key and it cost you your life. Alistair's taking care of that already. Okay, Alistair is in trouble right now, so we're gonna try and get this wolf off his ass. If Alistair dies, we're actually in a world of trouble, so... Let us put some health potions on his ability bar, shall we? Just in case this turns into more of a shit show than I had anticipated. We are gonna go save Morrigan, and you are gonna deal with these wolves, hopefully. Right. We should be okay. I don't think we're in too much trouble here.
So be it.
Alistair, shield bash the wolf that's about to attack Morrigan. I'm gonna tempo it too. And there we have it. That's the wolf pack. That is tougher than the bandits, surprisingly. There's an audio bug somewhere in this area on one of the wolf corpses. We're just gonna walk away from that. I believe that's from when the wolf was mauling him and we cast the frost spell on it. You found the body of the boy's mother and have recovered her keepsake. That's good. Okay. Let's deal with our level ups. So, we have unlocked our first specialization. I actually haven't considered much what I was going to do with the specialization, so we are not going to touch it yet. But we are going to deal with this. So, our willpower is holding up fine so far, I think. So what we will do is we will get to 30 dexterity and put 1 point into strength. And then we can do two dex, 1 strength until this is at 20. And then we'll worry about other things. I think our cunning should be fine so far. Yeah, we have the cunning already. We just need to be level 8 for it, so we don't have to worry about that yet. We already have coup de grace somehow. I'm not sure how that's working. Perhaps I have it on one of my items. So, dual striking. This is a sustained. When in this mode, the character strikes with both weapons simultaneously. Attacks cause more damage, but the character cannot inflict regular critical hits or backstabs. So this is ass. We don't want this. We'll never activate this. But we do want all of this. And since that is our only option for purchases right now, we will go ahead and get it. But we're never going to use that. Backstabs are the fundamental part of a rogue's kit. Turning that off to get more base damage is nonsense. Especially, you would maybe want to do that if you are letting the NPC play a rogue, since they don't really do mechanics of backstabs very well by themselves. But if you're controlling the rogue, never use that. It's a waste of time. The only time you would ever use that is if you ran into something that's immune to backstabs, but you're not going to run into that, so... I guess there's some fights where you'll never be behind the guy, but in general, it's a nonsense ability. Don't worry about that. Assuming he has enough dexterity to get what we want, I'm just gonna leave that where it is. You need 25 strength for that. Overpower would be a really good ability, actually. We could have had Taunt if we didn't go Threaten last time. Right, it's about time we get towards Taunt. The level after this we'll have Taunt and it'll be fine. So we'll put precise striking all the way over here. We'll go ahead and do that. The way I like to split these ability bars up is I tend to put all of the sustains on the right side, heals and items in the middle, and then the activated abilities off here on the left side. So you're 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's usually how that works the best. That audio bug is driving me insane. Stop that. Okay, here are the black burrs.
Wildlife. I thought everything.
Let the boys go first, of course. Right. You're gonna do that. I am gonna swing around the back. Chop that wood. Beautiful. Same again, swing around the back, chop that wood. Hit a flurry since they're both in range. And chop that wood. Now, Morrigan, if you would be so kind. And that is Lotherin's bear problem taken care of. Quest updated, so that's ready to be turned in. Now, apologies for anybody that has arachnophobia, because this next part is going to be a lot of creepy crawlies. We're going to save first. Believe it or not, I have died against these spiders. They can be a little obnoxious with their little enwebbed ability. And you're going to see it right away. As I was saying, obnoxious. Dog. Let them all close, then pop the stun. Get as many as we can in one. We're still enwebbed because this ability lasts way too long and is way too powerful. Right. You take a Mobari Crunch. We're gonna need to make more of those soon. The only downside to Dog is actually that he doesn't take regular healing potions. If he did, I would use him way more often, but he's just so hard to find abilities for. You can make him, but then you have to worry about the crafting resources constantly. I'm definitely going to try and use him more in this playthrough than I have in other ones, because his AoE is just so effective. It is still surprising me how good that is doing. Good sip. I'm going to die into the Spooder. And chop that wood and he'll be done. There we go. And after all my speeches about not needing more willpower, we ran out of willpower right there. But I believe that was to do with all the in-webs that we took. That might drain your stamina bar. It would make sense if it did, trying to wriggle out of the web. Because typically you wouldn't lose that. I think that's the first time in combat my momentum has actually been turned off. Let's put that back up. We'll start working on some willpower soon. Our dex is already getting insanely high, so I think the highest dex requirement weapon in the entire game is something like 36 or 42. And we're already well on our way to that, so we can start dumping points all over the place into cunning, into willpower. Well on our way to glory. Swing going back to the Chanters board. I think that might be it. I don't recall if there's any more Chanters board quests after that. The easy way to tell is if you get the sword as the reward for this stuff. He gives us a sword, it was the last one.
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Yes, all was silent, I believe, means that that's the last quest. Indeed. So real quick, let's just check. We have nothing in current quest for Lotharin at all, so that is a very good sign. We did do the Blackstone Irregulars. The Blight, we don't have to worry about any of that in here, and this is just our DLCs. This is Shale, we'll be picking Shale up for sure at some point. The sword in question that I was referring to is Oathkeeper. 1.5 armor penetration and 10% to healing effects received. This is a great blade for an early game tank. When I play my tank, I am often using that for a huge chunk of the game. It's a great sword for a tank. Since we got done pretty quickly with the Chanters board, actually, we are going to go ahead and progress out of Lotharin. We'll go ahead and make it to the party camp, and then we'll wrap things up. Which means we have one more little fight to do up here before we leave. Oh, my game was going to crash there for a second. I was experiencing some stutters. Got me a little paranoid. And again, see, I touched on this a little before in a previous episode. The criticism that people have levied at this game about the color palette just being various degrees of brown. Like, I see what they're saying. There's a lot of brown in this. In this screen, there's a lot of brown. But I think it looks great. I think they did a great job portraying Ferelden's kind of northern countryside aesthetic. Like, this looks like where I'm from. This is how it looks. I'm not sure what other colors they would want. Up here is an interesting fire that we'll probably have to be careful with too. Don't want to get too lax just because it's the end. Send dog up first.
Someone help us!
Right. Stun them all.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action.
Oh, this asshole didn't take the stun. There we go, he couldn't eat my stun. Chop that wood, get him out of there as fast as you can. Wonderful. Now that he is dead, we can kind of just systematically execute everyone else here. And on Duke. We have no more heals for him, so we're just gonna have to try and deal with him the best we can. Didn't even mean to loot that. I'm not even sure what I looted. Would like to not have Duke die. Morrigan with the clutch.
Time for a little cleanup.
We're gonna do something with Morrigan. We need a mage healer, and I don't want to wait until we actually find the healer. As much as I just gave my speech about how Morrigan is clearly meant to be the DPS of the group, we are gonna give her a heal ability. There we go. That takes care of the Darkspawn. Yeah, we need her to be able to do some kind of support since it's going to be a while till we find our designated healer.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
Here are the NPCs that everybody knows, especially this distinguished gentleman on the left. You're welcome.
The name's Bodahn Sandal, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
It's a bit complicated, but you're welcome to come along.
Complicated? Somehow I imagine that only says half of it. Thank you for the offer, but There may be more excitement on your path than is good for my boy and me. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune.
I suspect that might be true.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Right. So, go ahead and loot up the last little remnants here. Let me just double check in my brain that I actually did everything here. So we did the bandits, we did the merchants, we did the chantry, we did the tavern. I think we did everything. I think we're good to go.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is cleaned up. Thank you kindly for all your assistance.
We are gonna go ahead and progress past Lothern.
Bad dreams, huh?
It seems so real.
Well, it is real, sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
That'd be the second time we've seen the Archdemon. It also makes sense that we get the same message that the Darkspawn do, because we are tainted nonetheless. We just maintain our self-control. Why didn't Duncan just tell everyone that?
He did. He said he felt the Archdemon's presence. Everyone just assumed he was guessing. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Yeah, as long as, I imagine the older you get as a warden, the more in tune you get with all these kinds of abilities. We're still very new. Alistair is new too. He's just the senior warden here technically, but only by probably 6 months or so, I'd say. I'm not actually sure on that, but he's certainly new to the order. Thank you, Alistair. I appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
I'm not sure how witty your one-liners are, but you certainly deliver unpleasant news. There's no reason to tell him, no, we aren't scared. There's no reason to puff our chest up with ego here. And this is the party camp, which is going to be our main hub for the entirety of the game. And man, do I love the soundtrack to the party camp, although EA definitely likes to copyright and compromise anything to do with this sound, unfortunately. So we'll try and talk constantly over that so that we don't get hit, but there'll be a lot of conversations and dialogues going on in here. After this episode, I'll go ahead and do the Codex one, and then I'll probably do an episode just swinging around, talking to everybody here in our camp, get to know the cast and crew a little bit. So that is going to be a big ol' wrap for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there's a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you guys soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Have a good day, guys. Take care.